afternoon, everyone. We hope all is well, and thank you so much for joining us this morning. My name is Lisa Mangaldas, and I'm delighted to be your host today. It's a very special day as we've gathered here to celebrate the strength, power, and the resilience of a woman, a Sherni. Main Sherni is a special soundtrack created for the film Sherni, and it features women from all walks of life. Both the soundtrack and the film are an ode to all women, their unerring ability to beat the odds and stare adversity in its face. So, without further ado, please allow me to present to you a very special music video, Main Sherni, featuring Vidya Balan and celebrated women personalities who've outdone themselves to make a mark in their respective fields. This is Main Sherni. Take a look.
आँखों में रोशनी जोश है दिल में भरा गहरे तूफानों में हम ढूंढे रास्ता राहों पर कांटे हो या चाहे अंगारे हो रुकना नहीं है हमें रब का वास्ता लड़ेंगे भिड़ेंगे गिरेंगे उठेंगे ये दे दी हमने खुद को जुबान मुसीबत को ऐसा हम पंजा मारेंगे घुरा के देंगे ऐसी ललका डर के आगे दहाड़ मैं शेरनी चढ़ लेंगे हर पहाड़ मैं शेरनी
Namaskar to all the queens out there. You know who you are. Hey, rah. Moving like a dawn. Dekhe sab ye goddess gone. Every step a picture. Kar lo sare slow cam on. Cheeto piche ho lo kar lo sare tiger rest. मम्मी आ गई कब की देखो आ गई टाइगर रेस्ट
वो गिरी पड़ी वो उठी चली वो करे कभी कोई देर नहीं तू झुंड बना के पीछे पड़ गए पाया कोई घेर नहीं वो घायल साधा घातक है तो रखना कोई बैर नहीं तू खुद में झांक और देख ले एक तुझ में भी है शेर
लड़ेंगे भिड़ेंगे गिरेंगे उठेंगे ये दे दी हमने खुद को जुबान मुसीबत को ऐसा हम पंजा मारेंगे घुरा के देंगे ऐसी ललका डर के आगे दहाड़ मैं शेरनी चढ़ लेंगे हर पहाड़ मैं शेरनी आँखों में रोशनी जोश है दिल में भरा गहरे तूफानों में हम ढूंढे रास्ता राहों पर कांटे हो या चाहे अंगारे हो रुकना नहीं है हमें रब का वास्ता लड़ेंगे भिड़ेंगे गिरेंगे उठेंगे ये दे दी हमने खुद को जुबान मुसीबत को ऐसा हम पंजा मारेंगे घुरा के देंगे ऐसी ललका डर के आगे दहाड़ मैं शेरनी चढ़ लेंगे हर पहाड़ मैं शेरनी
Namaskar to all the queens out there. You know who you are. Hey, rah. Moving like a dawn. Dekhe sab ye goddess gone. Every step a picture. Kar lo sare slow cam on. Cheeto piche ho lo kar lo sare tiger rest. मम्मी आ गई कब की देखो आ गई टाइगर रेस।
वो गिरी पड़ी वो उठी चली वो करे कभी कोई देर नहीं, वो झुंड बना के पीछे पड़ गए पाया कोई घेर नहीं। वो घायल साधा घातक है तो रखना कोई बैर नहीं, तू खुद में झांक और देख ले एक तुझ में भी है शेर।
लड़ेंगे भिड़ेंगे गिरेंगे उठेंगे ये दे दी हमने खुद को ज़ुबान, मुसीबत को ऐसा पंजा मारेंगे घुरा के देंगे ऐसी ललकार, डर के आगे दहाड़ मैं शेरनी चढ़ लेंगे हर पहाड़ मैं शेरनी
इसे कहते हैं शेरनी का दहाड़ना. Remember the name? The soundtrack is called Main Sherni and it is sung by Akasa and Raftar. Music is by Utkarsh Dhotekar and lyrics by Raghav. The song will be available from 15th June on music platforms like Amazon Prime Music, Spotify, Gaana, Saavn, Wink Music, etc. All right. Now, once again, I'd like to thank you all for joining us. And before we proceed, I'd like to take the opportunity to let you know that if you have a question for any of our panelists today, please do send it to us in the chat box. Please make sure to include your name, the name of the media house or publication that you represent, as well as who your question is for. Now, before we begin the show with the trailblazing women we have here with us today, let's hear from the voices behind that powerful song we just heard, Main Sherni. Honestly, it gave me goosebumps. What a beautiful song, what powerful lyrics, and how wonderfully performed by Raftar and Akasa. And of course, we have them with us here this morning. So please join me in welcoming the singing sensations, Akasa and Raftar.
Hello, hello.
Namaste, everybody. Namaste.
So good to have you both with us today. The song is fantastic. Honestly, I listened to it so many times this morning, right? But I get goosebumps every time. I want to hear from you both. What sort of emotions and inspirations did it bring to mind when you were singing it?
Go ahead,
Mr.
Akasa.
Ra. Achha, idhar bhi ladies first. Okay. I thought we were... Okay. Honestly, goosebumps is the right word because the first time I was sent the song, I was like, this is so cool that you want me to sing it because this song is so powerful and I've always been about like girl power and woman empowerment and, yeah, we can. So I was very, very excited and I would like to say that it was this range to sing this high was like this task itself and right here. And it took me a while to get there, but I saw the video, I saw all the women affiliated with it and I was like, this is just adding on to the power. So it was unreal. I'm so excited, as you can see, to be here singing this song.
And we're so excited to have you here. And honestly, what a song. Raftar, your thoughts? What was going through your mind when you were singing this wonderful, inspiring anthem for women?
See, I see myself as the only male in this panel. And for you to choose me as a spokesperson, it's almost like that. I'm advocating for the right kind of Sherni, the definition of it. You know, my mom's a Sherni. I'm a Sherni's son. That's what I believe in. And it's just an honor, man. Like, I was amazed, like all these ladies, and you just choose to put me in there. So thank you.
Raftar, tell us a little bit more about that Sherni in your life. You mentioned your mom. I'm going to get Akasa to talk about this later with the all-women panel, but I do want to hear more about that Sherni in your life.
So yeah, my mom's was working lady. Office jati thi apna सुबह एक तरफ 40 किलोमीटर जाना, एक तरफ 40 किलोमीटर वापस आना, जाते हुए खाना बनाना, आके भी खाना बनाना, लंच का भी इंतजाम करके जाना. तो yeah, man, she turned me into who I am. Like, I was just Dilin Nair. She made me turn into Raftar. She's the reason I saw this dream. So yeah, I owe a lot to her, man. Like,
thank you for sharing that. I'd now like to ask each of you, both of you, to share whether there's a particular line from the lyrics that either was very evocative for you or reminded you of the Shernis in your life or the Sherni within? And would each of you like to maybe sing a line for us?
For sure, 100%.
I'll sing the whole song.
Love that.
I'll sing the lines that resonated most with me. I think Ladenge Bhidenge is on not only me as an artist, but as a female artist who very often is told that, ki a lot of things ki ye to aap nahi kar sakte, aap to ladies hain. So from even tiny little things every day, I ride an Enfield, and till date, it's been about 4 years at my petrol pump. Even now, he's like, Madam, ye bhari. I'm just like, ab ho gaya na, matlab bhar do petrol, jane do mujhe. So that ladenge bhidenge, girenge uthenge, ye de di, and that dar ke aage the heart is, I love that line. Let me sing it. Fir then up, Raftar, I'll sing that, and then you'll, yes. Okay. डर के okay लड़ेंगे भिड़ेंगे गिरेंगे उठेंगे ये दे दी हमने खुद को जुबान मुसीबत को ऐसा हम पंजा मारेंगे गुरा के देंगे ऐसी ललकार डर के आगे दहाड़ मैं शेरनी चढ़ लेंगे हर पहाड़ मैं शेरनी
Yeah, moving like a dawn, dekhe sab ye goddess gone. Every step a picture kar lo sare slow cam on. Cheeto piche ho lo kar lo sare tiger rest. Mummy aa gayi kab ki dekho aa gayi tiger rest. वो गिरी पड़ी वो उठी चली वो करे कभी कोई देर नहीं वो झुंड बना के पीछे पड़ गए पाया कोई घेर नहीं वो घायल ज्यादा घातक है तो रखना कोई बैर नहीं तो खुद में झांक और देख ले एक तुझ में भी है शेरनी.
Wow, thank you for that. Oh my God, more goosebumps. I just love the lyrics. I love the song, and you both are so talented. Thank you so much for that. And I can see the song trending already. I hope every woman who listens to it realizes that, you know, Tujh mein bhi hai sherni. Like, just what powerful lyrics. They're definitely staying with me. That's for sure. Thank you so much, Raftar and Akasa. Thank you so much. Thank you for singing for us. That was such a treat. And now, building on the energy of that amazing track, let's welcome the Sherni herself, the actor par excellence who has navigated her way through the jungle of Bollywood. An icon in the Hindi film industry, she is a pioneer in representing women from all walks of life on the silver screen. And her performances have redefined Indian cinema. With blockbusters like Shakuntala Devi, Kahani, and The Dirty Picture, she is an absolute force to reckon with. Please join me in welcoming the absolutely gorgeous Vidya Balan.
Hi.
Hi, Vidya. So good to have you with us, and you look beautiful. I love you're channeling your inner Sherni. I can see it.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lisa. You look lovely as always.
Thank you. Now, Vidya, you know, I don't have to say it. You know this already. You're someone who truly embodies the spirit of a Sherni. So can you tell us about how being a Sherni resonates with you, about your journey as a Sherni and what it means to be a Sherni?
You know, Lisa, I think I have to begin by saying that I absolutely love the song. I know that Raftar and Akasa are here with us, so a big hi to them. And thank you for this song. It's so powerful. It's so full of energy. I think, you know, I've been hearing it for the past few weeks now, and it gets me going, you know, especially when you're promoting a film and you need that energy because you're constantly talking. And I just play the song and I feel like, okay, I can take on the world. About channeling my inner Sherni, I think in my case, it's, you know, my journey is so public because I am an actor. So people are able to see and appreciate the Sherni in me. But I think each of us is a Sherni, Lisa. And I think in most cases, it's not so obvious, but to the significant others in a woman's life, they all know that she is a Sherni. And I believe every woman is a Sherni because she's navigating her way through this thick jungle called life. You know, we're constantly facing challenges. I love that line that says, "Musibat ko aisa panja marenge." You know, I know that at every step of the way, we women today are doing that. And the reason we are able to do that is because the women before us did that.
That is so well said, Vidya. I couldn't agree more. It's so, so true. There is a tigress within every woman. And I hope that we can all realize potential Shernis, and seeing people like you succeed and do all that you do is such welcome inspiration.
You know, and I think, Lisa, I want to say that you don't need to roar to be a tigress. You can be, you know, I think there are various shades, there are reflections of the Sherni that each of us represents. And I think you can be very, like the character I play in Sherni, Vidya Vincent, who's a forest officer. She's a woman of few words. She's very reserved, but she's very strong-willed. So you can be that. You don't really have to scream out loud from the rooftops or be heard all the time, or even be visible all the time to be a Sherni. Because I think in each of the households in India, there is a Sherni. And a lot of times she is invisible. And this is my salute to all of them out there.
Thank you so much for saying that. I think that is so important to acknowledge even the less visible, the ways that women are so resilient and so fierce and so powerful, even if quietly, and even if we don't get to witness that publicly. So thank you for bringing that up as well. Although we do have with us some more women here today who you saw in the video, obviously, as well, and they've all been Shernis in their own lives. So shall we bring them on? Shall I introduce our panelists?
Absolutely.
All right, it gives me so much pleasure to tell you about these amazing women with us today. Of course, we have the lovely Akasa. And fun fact, she was once the only woman in a band with 10 male musicians. Of course, she's gone on to become one of the most sought after singers in the country.
Wow.
Welcome, Akasa. We also have Natasha Noel. She's a social media content creator focused on body confidence and wellness. She's also a yoga expert and overall incredible at all things fitness and self-love. And as her Instagram bio reads, she uplifts humans. Next, we have Eshna Kuti, a hula hoop instructor who took social media by storm with her hoop flow in a sari. She is someone who encourages people to discover their own unique inner magic. And we have with us Meera Erda, who is quite the Wonder Woman. For those who say women can't drive, they haven't met Meera. She's literally shattering stereotypes at 150 miles per hour. And she's the first Indian woman racer to win internationally in Formula 4. And finally, we have the wonderful Dr. Trinetra Haldar Gumaraju, one of Karnataka's first transgender doctors and a social media content creator raising awareness about the LGBTQIA+ community and trans identity, one post at a time. She speaks not just about the struggles, but also very importantly about the joys. Her journey and work speaks for itself and inspires us all. So welcome to all the Shernis. So wonderful to have you all here this morning. And I have 3 questions that I'd love for each of you to answer if you feel comfortable. And, you know, you can just go one by one because the questions sort of are the same for the whole group. So first, of course, we heard this from Vidya, but what does being a Sherni mean to you? Should we start with you, Natasha?
Sure. I feel like a Sherni for me is finally discovering who you are and in the process accepting who you are. And let's be real, as everyone said also, like everyone goes through some battle, but willing to fight, willing to come out of it, willing to be better than you were, for me, that is strength. That is being a warrior. That is being a Sherni. So yeah, it's my 2 rupees on that.
Thank you. Who wants to go next? Meera?
Yeah, sure, I'll go ahead. Well, being a Sherni is all about just doing something that you love. It doesn't have to be really big or unconventional. It's just the tiny little things that you love doing. I think just accepting the fact that the society is not something you really have to fear, and you just have to go ahead out there and put yourself and follow your dreams. That's being a Sherni for me.
Thank you. Trinetra?
Hi. Firstly, let me just say this is incredible to be sharing the space with all of you incredible, incredible women. So thank you. But what is it to be a Sherni? I think that we as women are expected to conform and bend to expectations a lot. And I think that being a Sherni, at least to me, is, sort of putting yourself out there without compromising on your values and principles, and not sort of, conforming to society's expectations of an ideal woman. That's, to me, being a Sherni.
I love it. I love it. Ishna, do you want to tell us your thoughts?
Yeah. Hi. Firstly, same. I am so grateful to be here amongst like you insane women. To me, even though one imagines a Sherni to be like, this lone solo creature, but when you look at like the tigress and how it takes care of its cubs, and like the and how it's like so much stronger than the tiger, and it makes me feel the same way that like we as women are we're powerful, yet we can empower others. And I think like if I have the privilege to be able to do that for somebody else, and like we walk on this path together and kind of empower each other and ourselves as well, and find authenticity in that.
Everyone has shared such wonderful thoughts. Akasa, shall we get your thoughts next?
Yeah, I think everyone said it so well. Sort of taking a point from each, I think just being unapologetically being yourself, especially as women, since we've been girls, are told so many things. You have to be this, you have to be that, and you have to, you tend to, it's very easy to mold yourself to, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be, but just sort of not caring about that and just being yourself. I think there's so much strength in that. And I think that that's sort of being a Sherni for me.
And Vidya, would you like to add anything? I know I asked you this to start with, but any additional thoughts on being a Sherni?
Not really. I think everyone's put it so beautifully, and I just want to say hi, Akasa, Natasha, Meera, Trinetra, and Ishna. I just think that's what, to me, a Sherni is. She's not one thing. She is someone who knows that she has a right to dream. She's someone who knows that she has the power to realize her dreams. She's someone who knows that she need not be apologetic for who she is. And, defines herself the way she sees or wants to see herself, not the way she's been defined over the ages.
And can I add that I think that Shernis uplift other Shernis and celebrate other Shernis and give strength to and protect other Shernis. So to see all these Shernis come together and celebrate each other is really, really special. I think that is so important. And speaking of which, I mean, at some point or the other, we've all had to stand up and break many barriers to prove our mettle. We've had to tap into our inner Shernis. So would each of you like to share a situation, if you feel comfortable, where you found yourself having to do that and how you handled it? Who wants to start? I don't want to put anyone on the spot.
You must call out a name, because otherwise we're all going to wait.
It'll be like polite.
All right, I see Trinetra kind of maybe gestured that she might speak.
Oh, okay, sure.
No?
Not
okay.
really, but okay,
Putting you on the spot.
sure. Yeah, cool. I think there's been a lot of those moments, as I'm sure that's the case for everybody here. But for me, I think a very defining moment was the time that I transitioned in medical school, right? I'd already started medicine by that point, and I always knew who I was. I just didn't have the words for it, the vocabulary for it, the therapy for it. And finally, just sort of putting out there to the world, right? That this is me. This is my womanhood. My name is Trinetra, and please call me that and address me as that. And just recognize me not just by one label, but my inherent qualities and my resilience and strength. Just doing that, I think, changed a lot of things for a lot of people, but also for me, wherein I gained a lot of strength in, just being who I am unabashedly, unapologetically. And that's when I sort of discovered my Sherni, I think, and that was a very big moment for me.
Thank you for sharing that. Thank you so much. Akasa, do you want to go next?
Yes, I just have to say there are such amazing women out here, and I'm a bit intimidated in answering this question because I know Natasha personally, and I've seen and obviously Trinetra, I've been following you, but I will talk about my journey. I think there have been many moments, but there was a time I started working with this band at a very, very I was very sort of protected until I was 16. My school was next door until I was 15 and everything. And suddenly I was put in this, I chose to voluntarily go in this band where everyone was not only male, they were 30 and above. And I was like this 17-year-old. Over a year or two, everything I believed, and be it as a singer, be it as a performer, growing up, I was for about 2 years told every second day, you are nothing, or you don't really know how to sing, or why are you doing this, or why are you sitting like that, or why are you as an artist, I was apparently trying to be groomed, but what it was doing was the opposite of that. And when you're told that for so many years, so to choose I think there was this one day and one moment of just because it was a comfortable job in the sense of earning that much money, traveling the world, doing so many shows. But there was a moment where I was like, I would rather be jobless and sitting at home. And I remember just dropping a message that I can't do this anymore and leaving that situation. But after that, even getting an opportunity and sort of convincing myself, no, you're not what you've been told. You can sing, or I think it seemed back then that it was nothing, but now when I look back, breaking everything you've been told and molded into at that age, and then 4 years later just sort of going out there, because till date when Vidya ma'am's like, oh, you sang so well, inside me I'm like, oh my god. So I think that was a moment where that message was like I had to be a Sherni and just be like, I need to get out of this comfort zone.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, it's so important that we look back on our own progress and see how far we've come and take pride in that. So thank you so much for sharing that. Meera, do you want to go next?
Of course. For me, it was initially when I started racing. At the age of 9, I was just there, the only girl racing amongst the boys. And it was, very uncomfortable for the people around me that a girl is out here racing with the boys. And my competitors wouldn't like the fact that, she's racing amongst us and she can beat one of us. And there was this one race where I had to start last. And I don't know what got into me that day. I was really upset because I was disqualified. And my team and my parents told me this, that it's your moment. Now you have to decide if you want to be just a mediocre racer and be in the middle pack, or you want to go all out and win the race. And that moment I decided that this is it, and I actually won the race. I knew that my competitors will panic at that point of time as soon as I overtake them. And I took that opportunity. And when I came out of the race after winning the race, it was just my team and my family who were really happy, whereas everybody else was just so shocked that how did a girl actually manage to start the race at the last position and actually win the race. And when I was standing on the podium, being on the first podium, standing up there, holding the trophy and looking at the shock at people's faces, I was like, this is it, this is my moment. And I want to continue doing this and making sure that it's normal for a girl to win the race, and it's normal for a girl to even race and do anything that she wants. And I wanted to continue proving that. And that's what I did. After that, I've been just racing my hearts out on the racetracks since the past 11 years.
Wow, wow, that's incredible. Yeah, people are so often underestimating Shirnis, and I think that's all the more incentive to prove them wrong. So hats off to everyone who's shared their stories so far. Can we have Ashna share her story? I've lost Ashna on my screen. Is she still with us?
I can't see her either.
She got dropped.
All right, Natasha, you want to go?
Sure. Wow. I don't know which story to pick or which life moment to pick. But I don't know. I'm so emotional right now, to be very honest, just being here with y'all and having this, I won't cry. But I feel like as women, we are told, and we've all discussed this, you're supposed to be something. You're supposed to look in a certain way. You're supposed to behave in a certain way. You're supposed to dress in a certain way. You're supposed to talk in a certain way. And very honestly, from a young age, I did not fit into any category of that. But just to, I don't want to get emotional, but anyway, so I was raped when I was 7.5. And then when I was 3.5, my birth mother committed suicide in front of me. I can't believe I'm actually sharing this right now. I want to make this very quick. But anyway, she committed suicide in front of me. She burned herself in front of me. My dad, my birth father, had schizophrenia, so he was put in a home. So they couldn't take care of me, so I shifted to Bombay. And I thought, oh, life, is fine. It's okay. Everything is fine. 7.5, I was raped. And constantly I was trying to fill this void inside of me, which I couldn't. And I tried everything, like food, starving myself because I hated my body, absolutely hate my body. I was like, no, this body. And there was things where I was trying to do where I could slowly kill myself. Major trigger warning. I should have said this before I started talking, and things like that. But I don't know. I think till about 20, I was struggling a lot with hating myself, with never accepting myself. And I remember, I swear this is the truth, okay? I had seen one of Vidya's videos on, it was an interview, and it was about, and I remember I had this bottle of water in my hand and I was drinking it, and you had said that you don't have to be anything. I would drink water the whole day just so that I would feel full and not eat food. And for me, I was just like, oh shit, this is not the way. But I had lots of things in that aspect. But I feel like what I've learned and what I'm honestly learning today is to choose myself, regardless of what, not to blame myself. And I don't know how, well, of course, yes, through hard work and everything, but to give women and human beings just the opportunities to be themselves, accept themselves, and just to know that they are not alone. And for me, very recently also, because people pleaser is in my blood, to be there, be a doormat and allow people to walk over me. But one of my biggest challenges was to say no, and not have an explanation with that, just to say no, just to set my boundaries, and things like that for myself. And I don't know, this might not seem like a lot, but I just feel like we are here as human beings to help each other, and we are here to be there, and we need more love and kindness in this world, and that is what's going to, I don't know, save the world. Because if we have love and kindness in ourselves, that will just ooze out and be given to everyone. That's it.
Thank you for sharing that. Your resilience is incredible and so inspiring. And thank you for feeling comfortable sharing that with us. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you. Ashna, would you like to tell us any sorts of situations that you've been through where you tapped into your inner Sherni?
Firstly, I don't know how to go after Natasha. My heart goes out to you, and I've been following Natasha's work for very long, from the time she's been also journaling, and I think it's very inspiring the way you've come as a person, because I've seen how you've grown over the last several years, and it is in terms of like a journey, I mean, I'm pretty sure everyone can think of many, but in terms of, I guess, career for me, because flow arts and like hula hooping, you know, it's like what you see in circuses and whatnot. So it's generally like either objectified or, you know, sexualized, or it's put into the category of it's like stupid or something. And so it's taken a while to like gain some amount of self-respect and self-worth. And I think I've always come from a place where I've always hidden that I like to hula hoop, because it would always be made fun of initially before the video went viral, but like I kept it a secret, and I used to, just in my bedroom and nowhere else. And I think that low self-worth would keep building up over and over. And because of that, I would do a lot of work for like free, because, the industry, they don't pay, and then they do it all. So it was a journey to, like, firstly, like, say no, doing free work, and then getting other women also in like my industry of like flow arts to like also say no, because if they say yes, then you're kind of degrading the art form as well. And so it's been a journey of like, just that's what I said initially, that it can't be done alone, where like one stands up and then the others are kind of just like coming through. So you empower each other, you celebrate all women. And I think through the years, I think like just telling myself that no, I'm worth more, and no, I'm worth being seen, and no, I will, like, there is respect in what I do as well, has come. And I think that's why I journeyed. I never called myself a performer. I used to hate the idea of performance, because it gave this image if I'm just going to like, I don't know, and because of the perception I had created of it in myself. And I shifted to teaching because of that. And now that I see that there is a place where, like, how we carry ourselves as people, and we stay and we stick to our ground, and we do what we believe in, and we see the change it creates in people, where they get inspired, and the same people who treat you in a certain way come back to you for like, so that's one of my journeys, I guess.
Thank you, Ishna. Vidya, coming to you. It's been really wonderful to hear all of these stories, and we've all, of course, been inspired by you in so many ways, Vidya, since your successes are so public. But is there anything you'd like to add, or any reflections on what you've heard that you might want to share?
Firstly, I have to say that, Natasha, it takes so much to put yourself out there and to share with us what you've been through. One is to have gone through it. The other is to be able to speak about it publicly. And God knows how many people you've helped with your sharing today. So thank you very much for that, and more power to you, and more power to all of you women. I just realized one thing, as each of you was talking, I realized that actually we're not alone. Even though our paths may be different, we have to sometimes create paths for ourselves. Our struggles may seem unique, but I think the experience is more or less the same. And I think that's why it's so important that we stick together, stand up for each other, and not try to pull each other down. And, I see the living examples of 5 such women, and 6 such women. Lisa, I include you in that. And that's so inspiring. I hope we're able to do that more and more and more, so that, it's not just us, but also the girls who are growing up, the girls who are going to come into the world, who come into a better world, into a world where they can take some things for granted, where they can take their safety for granted, where they can take the, where they know that they have the right to their own lives, to their own choices. I think we've all learned it along the way. I hope they are born knowing that. It would be a much different world then. I think we're all contributing in our own small way towards that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. That is so well put. Oh my gosh, everyone is so articulate and so inspiring. And this has been such a privilege for me to listen in on myself. Thank you. I'd like now for each of you to share who the Sherni you look up to in your own lives is. So, who are the Shernis or the Sherni in each of your lives? Vidya, why don't we start with you?
Okay, I have a few. Of course, over time, like I said, I've come to realize that each one of us is a Sherni, whether it is apparent, whether it is obvious or not. But I think I'll start with my mother. My mother she's been a homemaker throughout, but she is her own person. And what I admire about her is this thirst to learn and to grow. And fearlessly moving forward. Now at this age, she's in her 60s and she's doing things she's never done before. Whether it's learning dance or learning 3 different types of music, doing some of these fitness routines that you wouldn't expect a 60 plus year a woman to be doing. I just think it's so admirable. And someone who's, of course, fiercely protected her cubs, my sister and me. I think it's so admirable. A lot of times she's told me, she said, you're apologetic about your success. You shouldn't be. और जितना तुम सर झुकाओगी उतना लोग सर नीचे पटकाएंगे. So don't do that. Don't bow down in front of anyone. So I think she is the most powerful Sherni in my life. But also my sister and my niece. My sister has always been my hero. I feel there's a line in the teaser of Sherni that says, "Jungle kitna bhi ghana kyun na ho, Sherni apna rasta dhoond hi leti hai." That's my sister for me. And my niece, who's 10, she's actually, my sister has twins, a boy and a girl, but the girl is a real Sherni, and she baffles me. She shocks me sometimes with the kind of things she says, and her concept of self is so strong that it makes me feel so good, and it makes me feel like we're doing something right in this world.
Wow. And they have a Sherni in their lives in you, no doubt. That was wonderful. I do know that we have a lot of questions. Sorry, I've gotten so involved in this discussion that I was negligent of the chat box, and I see a lot of questions from the press coming in as well. So I'm going to, I hate to do this, but I want to request the other 5 wonderful women on the panel to tell me about their Shernis a little quickly so we can get to the press questions, because I know our friends from the media also want to have their moment to ask you their questions. Akasa, Sherni's in your life.
This is going to be a very cliche answer because everyone's going to say this, but my mom, my mom was a Kathak dancer. She would have gone on to be, she herself was a Sherni in her life. It's a different thing. At 19, she bought her property, did not have a father, did teaching to show her family she's doing something, but secretly used to go to Hema Malini's world tours. And she got married and she had me. And the woman decided that I was more important than her career. And very conscious, educated decision, not because of any society. Like today, if I tell her, she's like, I made a decision and today you do what you want to do. I did what I want to do. So I think that sort of courage and that sort of selflessness is only a Sherni can, and she'll be a Sherni forever. I don't care if it's a cliche answer. My mom is a Sherni in my life.
No, it's not a cliche answer. I think everyone's moms and whoever the Sherni is in their life is the Sherni in their life. No cliches here. Natasha?
My mother.
What?
I can't help it, okay? Because she's honestly taught me to be independent. My mom's 72, okay? Godmother, if you're confused, my godmother that I shifted my house, so my dad's oldest is, because you'll be like, what happened? You told me a different story and now just have little backstory. So my godmom, who's completely my mother, she actually told me that taught me that regardless of any difficulties, strive forward, My mom's 72. She's 72. She still takes tuition. She's an English, geography, literature teacher of ICSE, that too. Okay, she still takes tuition. Morning, she will get up at 5:30. 6:30 is her tuition time. She will get up. She will do everything. She will go for a walk, even if it's on the terrace, even if it's in the house, and she will take her tuitions regardless. 72. You know, my dad likes to watch TV. but it just showed me that, and regardless of anything, it just taught me that, and she taught me especially that, Natasha, you know, life is a battle, okay? But you have to work, you have to be independent, you know? So since I was very young, I was like, okay, I need her. She's like, no man needs to support you. You support yourself. And now the irony of all of this is, right, when my mom said, Natasha, you know, it's time to get married, you know, because you need a man to take care of you. And I'm like, why? I'm fine. I'm good on my own. I don't need a man to take care. I'm taking care of myself and my babies. I have 3 animals also. And my babies. Life is great. And she's like, I should have not done that. But yeah, this is my mother regardless of anything.
Thank you. Meera.
It's the same as others. It's my mom. She's always been there, and you know, she's the one who always, whenever I was on the track, she'd be like, Meera, you are driving so slow. Even though I'm like at the top, I'm driving fast. She's like, Meera, you need to get faster. I would get so frustrated that why are you doing this? Why are you pushing me so much when I'm already doing so well? And now I realize that, you know, she was the one who always used to push me out of my comfort zone and made me who I am today. And just, you know, not fearing what others used to tell. And she would be always there on the track with me all the time. And we would be just two women out there, whereas everybody else was male. And, you know, she was there for me in all this, in my whole journey. So yeah, she is my Sherni.
Thank you. Trinetra?
So I have a few, of course, like everybody else, but I just want to say, you know, parents bring you into this world and teachers give you the glasses through which you see the world and interpret it. And for me, I think at a time when my parents didn't understand me and didn't really accept my womanhood for what it is, my first grade class teacher, I will never forget her, because right from that time when I was 4, 5 years old to this day when I'm 23, she follows me on Instagram. She comments on my posts. She sends me a message every once in a while and she says, hey, I see what you're doing and your womanhood gives me strength. It means the world, because she's been there every step of the way. And, you know, I think that, of course, I've had very bad experiences in my education growing up, you know, having faced transphobia both in medical school and in high school, etc. But just to have that one woman set the foundation solid at that young an age, I think it makes a world of difference, right? And I thank her for consistently showing that solidarity and paving the way. Like, you know, Vidya ma'am said earlier that there's been so many women before us who had to do this without as much support. So just to have her be that for me is incredible. And just quickly also, I want to say that we as trans women are denied our womanhood consistently. We grow up knowing in our bones that we are girls and we are women, but society teaches you that you are some sort of disease, some sort of abomination, some sort of freak of nature. And, you know, it's so disheartening that not only do we not have access to being vocally Sherni, but vocally women. We're not even given that, you know. So I think to constantly assert that, regardless of what society says, is such an inspiration to me. And I draw so much of my strength from the community, you know. And yeah, those are my Shernis.
Thank you, Trinetra. Ishna, tell us about your Shernis.
You mean my mom? So yeah, I mean, like my mother is definitely one of the most intelligent women I know, and she's very progressive in the way she thinks. So I have had the privilege of having a really good upbringing and education where it's never been about, like, you know, I'm a single child and I've always felt empowered, and, like, you know, I've never faced that whole shaming of women and whatnot and belittling them. And so I'm grateful to her because I know that everyone doesn't have that same privilege. But other than my mom, there's also my best friend who has severe depression and is suicidal, but she's my best friend. She's my plus one to everything. If I have some work trip to go to, I always get 2 tickets. And for me, it's the most inspiring thing that she wakes up and she still chooses, life, and she chooses to do. She's in a place where, it's like, oh, I don't have a job, I can't handle anything, but I think it's just so inspiring that she still, wakes up and tries. And I learn from her too much every day.
Thank you so much. Thank you for every answer that was shared today from each one of you. I wish I could keep interjecting, but I'm also with tasked with having to carry this along. But there's so much to share and so much to sort of empathize with and to applaud each other for having the courage and strength and willingness to be vulnerable and share these stories and find strength in that vulnerability. So thank you. Thank you to every single one of you for being so forthcoming and for this powerful conversation. We do have some questions from the media, as I said, so I'm going to just switch gears and take a look at the chat box. First up, I see Sunidhi from OTT Play, who has a question for Vidya. That's Sunidhi from OTT Play Hindustan Times. She asks, do you feel that the song will inspire people and especially young girls of our nation?
I personally think so. I may be biased because I love the track, but I believe that if you've asked me this question, you also feel the same way. I think there's everything in the song to inspire women. Look at the kind of women that have been featured in the song. Look at their stories. You've just heard them. Such wonderful stories of overcoming the biggest and sometimes the most insurmountable, what seemed like insurmountable problems in life, and still standing strong and living life exactly the way they want to. And just the words of the song and the way it's been sung, I think all of it together, it feels like an anthem.
We have another question for you as well, Vidya. This is from Nivedita from Bengali News website, asamai.com. She asks, how has this role changed your perspective on life?
You really realize that when you're out in the jungle, you realize that you're such a small part of the infinite creation of God. And therefore you begin to see things in perspective then. I think nature is extremely humbling. And when I go to the mountains, when I go to the jungle, I just feel this overpowering sense of gratitude for the life I have. And even when I look at my problems, I feel like, oh, if I'm such a small part of God's creation, and my problem is a small part of my life, how small is my problem? And suddenly I feel like then I can overcome anything. I can fight the odds and I can emerge triumphant.
Thank you. We have a question from Sakshi from Social Catch Up, and it's directed to Vidya as well as all the panelists. So I suppose whoever is keen to answer can all share their thoughts. The question is, with this pandemic, how have you managed to remain a Sherni and keep on doing what you are doing? And is there a comment or a piece of advice that you have received that makes you want to roar in anger? Does anyone want to take these? How you've managed to stay a Sherni despite the obstacles that the pandemic might have placed, as well as is there any kind of comment or advice you may have received that makes you want to roar in anger? Anyone? This is from Sakshi of Social Catch Up. Who wants to take this?
Are we like raising hands? Is that how this works? How does this work?
I don't want to pressure anyone into answering a question they're not comfortable with. But yeah, if you are comfortable, I'd love a show of hands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Janetta.
Oh wait, Vidya ma'am had her hand up. Yeah, I didn't see. I'm so sorry.
No. I was like, Please go ahead.
Okay. Right. I just want to say that as someone that's worked in a hospital in this time, to be your online persona, but also put on your stethoscope and go and work in a hospital, it's very humbling, right? You see despair and pain, but you also see hope and a whole lot of collective resilience. And I think that that's changed me forever. And I think my takeaway would just be that, before this, we haven't seen what human beings can do for each other. And that's the takeaway from this, right? That when we come together as one, we can achieve incredible things. And like we were talking about earlier, just lifting each other up is such a powerful thing. So I think that would be sort of my takeaway. I don't have an answer for the second part, but that was my answer for the first part of that question.
I have an answer for the second part. I don't read comments, so that keeps me sane.
Sorry, I wasn't able to get. Did everybody else hear Vidya, ma'am? Was it just me whose internet?
Oh, really? Did I drop off? I was saying I don't read comments, so I'm not, I don't know what people are saying about me. I only know how I feel about myself.
That is a great tip for anyone with a public profile. Don't read the comments. All right. Does anyone else want to share an answer to that question, or should I move to the next question? I'm going to move to the next question. Okay. This is from Sandeep from ANI Media for Vidya Balan. You've been doing films like Mission, Mangal, Shakuntala Devi, etc. So have you decided to do only such kind of films that are women-centric and inspiring?
Sandeep, thank you for the question, but there's no attempt at doing films that are inspiring. If they happen to inspire along the way, that's really a bonus. That's the icing on the cake. I pick up stories that I find compelling, that I find irresistible, and that's also true for the characters I choose. And I think we're getting to tell great female-centric stories, and why not them? I'm the hero of the piece, and I love that, because I keep telling people that, I'm at the center of my universe. So if I'm getting to be at the center of the film also, that's a double whammy.
I could not agree more. It's high time. I feel like everyone should be doing these films,
Yeah.
I mean,
there are more and more of these films being made, honestly.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see. Really, it is. Okay, we have a question from Priyanka from Dainik Jagran. I think it's for Raftar, but we actually already asked Raftar this. So hopefully, Priyanka, you got your answer. Raftar ke liye sawal, aapke life Sherni kaun rahi hai aur kyun? I think Raftar did share that. Would you like to say a few more words, Raftar?
See, after this conference, I feel all of you all are my life Shernis, man. Like, everyone is inspiring, and though it's the same thing as human we take from each other. Like, I would look beyond gender in general and say, just to keep on fighting is something that I see from you all, man, and I'm going to continue that. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's have everyone back. We have a photo op now. Group picture to banta hai. Let's have everyone back on so that we can take a quick picture. All right, please smile. Say Sherni.
Sherni.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. With that, we come to an end. Thank you to each and every one of our panelists. Thank you, Vidya ma'am, for joining us. Thank you to everybody who's tuned in today to celebrate the brave and beautiful Shernis of the world. We really appreciate your time and your support, and we hope you're all as excited about this as we are. Mark your calendars to join Vidya Balan in her journey of self-discovery with Sherni, premiering on 18th June on Amazon Prime Video in India and across 240 countries and territories. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.